Ever find yourself rooting more for the side characters than the main hero in a harem anime? Um, so that's the point. That's the you're not alone. Um, Sometimes the guy who's supposed to be winning all the hearts ends up being, well, a bit of a mess. Let's dive into the world of harem anime and explore the protagonists who unintentionally become the villains of their own stories. Uh, we're talking about characters who are dense, indecisive, or just plain frustrating. These are the leads who make you yell at the screen, question their motives, and wonder how they attract any romantic attention at all, uh, prepared to be surprised, amused, and maybe a little bit annoyed as we reveal the worst protagonists in the harem genre. First up is Makoto Ito from School Days. He starts as a seemingly normal student, but quickly descends into a spiral of manipulation and infidelity. He's the embodiment of everything you don't want in a romantic lead, and his actions have truly shocking consequences. Um, then there's Ichika Orimura from Infinite Stratos. This guy is the king of cluelessness, surrounded by girls vying for his affection. He remains utterly oblivious. It's almost impressive how he manages to miss every single romantic signal. Uh, um, Kazuya Kinoshita of Rent a Girlfriend is a master of self sabotage. Uh, it was making things like this tracked in a web of lies. He constantly makes things worse with his. You'll be cringing at his every move. Raku Ichijo from Nisekoi is a classic example of a protagonist paralyzed by indecision, stuck in a fake relationship. He refuses to take the initiative to solve the central mystery, dragging the story on endlessly. Toyofuji in White Album is a bit of a villain in his own right. Um, he repeatedly betrays the trust of those closest to him, uh, wallowing in self pity while causing immense emotional pain. Uh, Keitaro Urashima from Love Hina is a lovable loser, but his constant misfortune and inability to assert himself can be frustrating to watch that. He's always the target of abuse, and it's hard to see him succeed. Sukune Aono from Rosario plus Vampire is a human in a school for monsters, and he spends most of his time uh, needing to be rescued. Uh, uh, he relies entirely on the girls to protect him, making him a passive character in his own story. Uh, that Tosuke Kosaka in Oraimo starts as a supportive brother, but his actions take a controversial turn as he pursues a forbidden relationship with his sister. And this decision, alienates many viewers, and creates a deeply divisive storyline. You know, Masamune Izumi from Eromanga Sensei discovers his illustrator is his stepsister, and their relationship becomes the focus of the story. His motivations are often questionable, and his uh, behavior is creepy rather than endearing. Natsuo Fuji from Domestic Girlfriend finds himself in a complicated love triangle with two sisters who become his step siblings. His impulsive decisions and melodramatic circumstances create a soap opera filled with avoidable drama. Shido Itsuka uh, from Date Alive has the ability to seal the powers of spirits, but he rarely solves problems on his own. He relies entirely on his support team, making him a bland and uninteresting protagonist. Um, uh, Peter Grill from Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time wants to marry his innocent fiancée, but he constantly succumbs to the seduction attempts of monster girls, and um, his lack of willpower makes him a terrible romantic partner. Naoya Mugai from Girlfriend is a refreshing but bizarre protagonist who asks to date two girls simultaneously. He lacks common sense and screams his internal thoughts at the top of his lungs in uh, the public. Uh, um, Toy Mochizuki from In Another World with My Smartphone receives magical powers and a smartphone from God, but he lacks personality flaws and faces no genuine challenges. He's overpowered and uninteresting. Um, Yuko Suo from The Master of Ragnarok and Blesser of Einherjar uses his smartphone to introduce modern tactics to a fantasy world, but he lacks depth and relies on unearned wisdom. And Kirito from Sword Art Online is often labeled as a Narisu character who is good at everything he attempts. He attracts a large group of female admirers, despite being a solo player who keeps people at a distance. Tomoki Sakadai from Heaven's Lost Property is obsessed with perverse activities and treats the arrival of a powerful angel as a nuisance. His behavior is often criminal and played for laughs. So there you have it, a collection of harem anime protagonists who are more frustrating than charming. Um, it just goes to show that even in a genre built on romance and fantasy, a a flawed lead can make all the difference. Uh, and hey, sometimes it's fun to root for the underdog or just laugh at the sheer mess of it all. I mean, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.